You're listening to Music 101 with your host, Alexxis Steele. Sponsored by Steel Notes Magazine. You can find them at the web, folks, at www.steelnotesmagazine.com.
Hi, it's Alexxis Steele with Music 101. It gives me great pleasure today to bring to you Trev Lukather, guitarist in Lavara. How you doing, Trev?
How's it going?
Good, good. How's things in sunny California?
You know, it's about as it's starting to feel a little more alive than it has been in the last year plus. But yeah, I mean,
Good.
it's the weather's not terrible. It's a little gloomy, but 70s. So I know it's a little different from where you're at right now.
Yeah, we're actually going to be warming up this week to close to 70, believe it or not.
Right on.
Yeah, it's a treat for us. So
Yeah.
I can live with that.
Not too many people looking like Jack Nicholson at the end of The Shining is what you're telling me anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, really. So Trev actually, for those of you who do not know who he is, he actually grew up in the music business. He's the son of Toto guitarist Steve Lukather and his mother, my friend, the awesome artist Marie Curry, who's the twin sister of Cherie from the Runaways. So Trev, growing up in the music business like this, because you were like what, 3 years old when you started, something like that, 4?
Yeah, I picked up drums at 4. Yeah.
Okay, so it was like your dad, right, and one of the other guys in Toto, I think it was, that helped pick out a drum kit for you.
Yeah, Jeff Beccaro. Jeff. Jeff had a little kit, I guess, that he helped Dad get me, and then I just remember banging on fucking drums when I was a kid. You know, I just I as far as I can remember, I was playing an instrument.
So so drums started out. That was your main instrument, right, in the beginning, in your early years.
Until about 12 years old. Yeah.
Okay, and that's when you picked up the guitar.
Yeah.
I read that you were at one of your dad's shows, and he was doing some really cool licks, some solo, and you were digging that, and then that kind of like sparked your interest in being a guitar player and being out front.
Yeah, I saw people reaching out for him when he was ripping up the first song solo, and I was like, man, I want to do that. And it was crazy because even when I was playing drums, I would hear melodies in my head, and I would hear like guitar chords and riffs in my head, and I could never do them, but I could hear them. So I'd be literally jamming by myself to like my own thoughts. And that got a little old after a while. So it was just kind of one of those things where the universe was pretty much aligning for me to pick up the guitar and start writing some songs and playing. And you know, it connected to me immediately. And that's why I love about that I played drums for so long, because my rhythm was solid right off the bat.
That's good. Yeah.
I was able to play solid rhythm. And so it was all meant to be.
Mm-hmm. So you never took a lesson with drums or guitar, huh?
I did some drum lessons. I remember doing some drum lessons. I was trying to read music too. I read drum music for a bit. I would do like, because I went born and raised in a Catholic school, which is kind of random. But you know, I'd do some church gigs playing drums, and I'd read the drum music, and I just play along. And yeah, so I got a little bit of knowledge playing drums, but when I picked the guitar, I kind of just stuck to my own instincts.
And so how old were you when you wrote your first song?
Pretty immediately when I picked it up. I mean, I think I was starting to write riffs and come up with song ideas pretty, like maybe even day one.
Really? Wow, that's great. Well, okay, so then you started touring when you were 17, and you were a music director for Ryan Cabrera, and I see that right. It's Lindsay Lohan, not Lindsay Lohan, right?
Lindsay Lohan, yeah. You know, I didn't work with Ryan till way later on, but we became friends during that time.
Okay.
We met. I played Iced Out New Year's Eve. It was a New Year's Eve show in the middle of Times Square for MTV, and we played outside with Lindsay, and I met Ryan, and then we became very good friends. And then, you know, fast forward, I think 10 years later, I played guitar with him for a tour.
Okay.
But yeah.
And did you go on tour with him too?
Yeah.
You
yeah.
went on tour with him, right?
Yeah, I went on the road with him. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was a lot of fun, man. Because we were just, you know, best bros, and then, you know, the guys in the band were all the usual suspects before Lavara. And we just had an absolute blast. It was an amazing time.
Ah, very cool. All right. So now then, when did you hook up with Hailstorm? I guess you co-wrote Love Heart. What is it?
Love,
Love Heartbreak.
love, hate, heartbreak. Yeah.
Love Hate Heartbreak. Yeah.
When I was 20, I was working with Tommy Hendrickson. He had his own imprint on Geffen, and we did a demo. We did like a few songs for what we were hoping to be a record, which didn't work out. The label kind of fell apart, and I also just didn't have such a great headspace going at that time. I was a little feeling like I was immortal, you know. I was partying a lot and
Yeah.
didn't really take it as seriously as I should have. Even though at the end of the day, even if I wasn't too crazy, the label went on, you know, the imprint and the label went under. So it, you know, but I definitely beat myself up for years about that whole situation. But anyway, Tommy was approached to write for Hailstorm, and he's like, "Hey man, we need like Evanescence meets AC/DC. Can you come up with something?" And I came up with what would be that song, and I went in the studio with Lizzie Hale and Tommy, and we wrote that song that day, and it was awesome. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. So then, what point? I guess. Now, did you start Cash Vertigo? Was that a band that you started that you were in?
Oh, good. Talk about more drugs, man. Yeah, that was just a kind of a weird project that was kind of tongue in cheek songs about, you know, the first song that we did was Hollywood Hills, which was like, you know, just basically talking about just like crazy kids growing up in the Hollywood Hills and how crazy everybody is. And it was definitely tongue in cheek, making fun. And during that time, that was like the music scene. It was like a lot of LMFAO, Kesha, all that stuff. And that was just basically me working with Tommy Hendrickson again, of being like, you know, trying to get with the times. None of that works. None of that stuff ever connects when you're trying to be something you're not. And that was definitely a project of me trying to be something I was far from. So, you know, that was an experiment gone wrong.
Well, nonetheless, it was an experience, right?
Yeah, it's all stepping stones.
Yeah, exactly. So you put out an EP just entitled Trev back in 2008. Was that your first EP?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was the one under the Geffen thing that just, you know, we that I'm still very proud of that stuff. That stuff was really really solid, man. Like those songs still hold up today.
Okay.
That
And
was
so,
that was like literally a younger version of me being just true to myself and what I wanted to do. And I lost sight of that for a while. And now finally, you know, the universe aligns again. And once you tune out wanting to do anything for other people, like, you know, you put you know, I produce for other people and I'll write for other people, and you put on that hat of like what their sound is and what they would want. But other than that, like when it comes to our band, it's really the music that we just want to make. And we're not trying to fit in somewhere. We're not trying to be something that we're not. We're just making music that connects to our soul. So that stuff in 2008 was like the earlier version of this, I feel.
mhm. Okay. And so who worked on that with you?
Tommy Henderson. He's in the Hollywood Vampires. He's Alice Cooper's guitar player now. And he's just you know, he's done songs with Daughtry and Lady Gaga and a bunch of stuff.
Oh.
He's a badass producer, and as a producer, diving into that world now, he's a huge influence. He's very Peter Gabriel influenced, like me.
Okay. Cool.
His approach to production was so many great the vocal production with him was so out of this world, just always keeping it interesting, and that's always stuck with me. I love his approach to vocals. So yeah, I mean, that was just a great experience. We had Glenn Sobel, who's also the drummer of Alice Cooper, played drums on that. EP.
Okay, cool.
And he plays, I think, with Hollywood Vampires as well. So yeah, and then Tommy would play bass, or I played bass, I played guitar. It was kind of very in-house.
Right, right. Okay, cool. So what's your favorite Peter Gabriel song?
Oh man, okay. Well, obviously, one of the best songs ever written is "In Your Eyes" for sure, as a ballad sitch. But I mean, I love "Big Time." I love that song.
Yeah, that's a good song. And I also like Sledgehammer.
Well, yeah, for sure. I mean, I
Yeah.
Shock the Monkey's great. I mean, a lot of
Shot the
Gabe.
Monkey's good, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, the So album, though, I mean, from front to back is just a fucking masterpiece. So, really can't go wrong with any of those songs. But definitely, like Big Time is just—it's so funny. I mean, it's such a groove of a tune,
Mhm.
epic chorus, great production, but just the lyrics are just genius, man. Like just him making fun of being a big time rock star, with all the money and all the, just making fun of it all. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great way of talking about his life. But yeah, no, I mean, Gabriel's such a genius of a dude.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So now it was about 4 years ago that you met the guys that actually the two other guys that were going to be joining you in Lavar. You were at a birthday party, and I guess you guys knew each other from the clubs in LA and stuff like that, and
Yep.
kind of hooked up that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Josh and I met through at a birthday party of an engineer friend of ours, and we knew of each other. We instantly connected, and actually, we were both looking for an apartment at the same time, so we became roommates. He had another project going, I had my project going, and
And Josh is the one he's from the UK, right?
yeah, and he played with One Direction from the beginning till the end, and we clicked really. We had a strong connection as friends, and then musical connection. He's such a beast of a drummer. I felt that his band that he was doing, they wrote really cool pop stuff, but it never really showed or put light to what kind of drummer he is, because he's such an incredible drummer. It's like hearing like Neil Peart. He's not Neil Peart because he's just but I'm just saying, like, it's like, this is how I'm gonna like compare it. It's like putting Neil Peart in a band, and then you hear the record and it's just like do and then crash, and you're like, but Neil Peart, where are the fills? Where are the epic? Where's him going being Neil
Solid,
Peart?
yeah.
And so that's how I felt with their music. It's like great, cool songs, but where is it showing you as a drummer if this is your band? So I thought, let's get in the studio and go wild. Let's just do what we want to do and let loose. And then we knew that after we laid down this ridiculous instrumental track that we wanted to have some singer that would just be able to hit some ridiculous high notes. And, none of it was planned to be a commitment at all, like a band. It was just, let's have fun. So I knew Jules through the jam circuit. We knew each other, but he was a very R&B pop guy. He would always be doing these like covers of like very R&B pop songs. So never looked at him as any kind of rock singer. But I came across a video of his when we were kind of figuring out who it would be. And he went to this like high note and sounded like Axl Rose, Miles Kennedy, Robert Plant.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
shit, this guy can do some rock music. So I hit him up. I said, hey man, I know you don't usually do rock, or if you've ever, but we have this crazy, let me send you this track. And he fucking loved it, came in and had melodies and lyrics and wailed in the studio, knocked it out of the park, blew us all away. And then at that moment, I think we got together actually for Ryan Cabrera's birthday party, and we decided just to like get in the room for 4 days and create 4 songs. And we played at his party, and people like really reacted to it so well that we're kind of like, oh, maybe this is something we should focus on, and that's kind of how it all started.
Yeah, he's got a great voice.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Real
deal
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, real deal.
Not a
Now
guy.
he doesn't play an instrument, he's just the front man.
Yeah, I mean, he dabbles with bass and he can play acoustic guitar, But yeah, for this, he's full blown singing, holding that mic.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, because being three, I mean, your guitar, Jules is the singer, and then Josh is the drummer. So what do you do for bass?
We have a couple bass options. I mean, Sam Porcaro played bass on the record. And so we have a couple people in mind. We want someone who can really sing well, because there's a lot of vocals obviously on the record.
Harmonies,
A
yeah.
lot of harmonies. So we have a couple people that we know that we absolutely love that can sing their ass off and play their ass off. It just will depend on scheduling when touring hits, like which person can jump on the road with us. I mean, definitely down the line, we're to hope to like be able to rely on one particular person. Don't know if they'll become a band member. It's too soon to tell. I mean, you know, when you're in the trenches together, you really just invite someone in and just say, okay, well, here you go. You know, it just doesn't really work that way.
But you have the core. The three of you are the core unit. So somebody else could come and go, right?
Yeah, it could be like, you know, Spinal Tap, revolving drummer. It might be a revolving bass player. And it's really great because it's going to be cool to have that like option of different feel, but also like really sitting down and who vibes best, and just really bringing something a little different to the hang as well, as a player. But definitely the key thing will be even multi-instrumental, like if someone can have like a synth bass thing or bass, be able to do some key, even though we don't really have any keys. The only thing we have keys on this album is in automatic. We have like a stabbing, like a little tremolo synth that I literally, while we were mixing the record, man, something's missing, and it's like just a stabbing tremolo thing in the chorus could kind of really make that pop. So I literally said, Ethan, let's go. The guy who produced our record, I said, let's go in and let me just lay this down. And we did, and we literally slipped it into the mix last minute. So that's the only keys on there. But you know, mainly it'd just be cool to have someone maybe play synth bass, just do maybe a few, maybe even pick up the guitar, certain things. So we'll vibe it out then. But we're gonna definitely be playing to tracks. I mean, we're a new band. We can't afford there's so many tracks on this record. We can't afford a 30-piece band.
Yeah, sure, right. Absolutely. So I wanted to ask you about the name of the band, because that's a quite different name. So I was curious how you came up with it, the significance. Is there significance?
Yeah.
The name Lavara?
Yeah, well, we really were struggling with finding a band name. And, you know, once you would think of something pretty cool, it was taken somewhere. I mean, so the best thing was like, well, let's kind of create something out of something that means something. So I saw that certain bands have taken letters from their names and they've created a word out of certain letters of their names. So that's what we did with this band name. We basically took letters, put our last names, and said, well, let's try to see if there's a word that can come out of that. So yeah, Lavara just popped, and then boom.
Yeah, I know it's always difficult coming up with band names, you know.
Yeah, and also something that kind of means something too. I mean, like, you know, it's cool that you know, it's something that's a part of our last names, because that's more of a real meaning, you know. I know Jules sometimes like, oh man, it should mean like something like this. It's like, well, that can mean something like that to Jules personally, but the truth is that we came up with the name by morphing our last names together.
Okay, very cool. Okay, so now you guys were touring with your dad's band Toto. So like, was it a year before you recorded your new music?
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say a year. I think we got back. No, man, because we got we came back from that tour at the end of the summer, and then we got straight into the studio because when we were opening for Foreigner on one show, an acoustic gig, we didn't know how to play our song. Like, we didn't ever rehearse an acoustic show. It was kind of brought onto us while we were out there. So we had to rent acoustic gear, a cajon and an acoustic, and come up with a set. And when we were just kind of sitting in the dressing room, and I'm just kind of getting my acoustic bearings, Automatic just flew out, the beginning and the music, and Jules just kind of, whoa, what's that? And then started throwing out melodies, and then we came up with the chorus, and we knew that Automatic was the hook. And so we really wanted to dive in and really, I think that was kind of one of those moments too, that specifically Jules and I were like, this is kind of the direction that we want to go as far as song. We really write rock songs, but like songs at the same time. Before it was very riff rock, and there's only so far there's only so much you can do and go with that. We wanted to kind of broaden it up. So we got together and we really honed in on that. So then I called a friend of mine who's a great engineer to come in, and he flew in from Nashville, my buddy Brandon, and he recorded 2 songs, and we did Automatic and Just a Man, which is on our album. That's actually one of the older songs that we have, but we kind of morphed it in a way of making sense to what we wanted to do now. And when we got, that was right like September, October. So we got off the road August, September, October. We went in the studio and we did these tracks, these 2 songs, and then we got a record deal by November, December, and then we were in the studio recording the debut record January 2020.
Okay, so that was 2020 with Mascot Records, right? You signed with?
Yeah.
Okay. So actually, the tunes that you have put out, like the 3 videos. Okay, the first one, right, was Heaven Knows.
Yeah.
Which was in 2020. Then you put out Chameleon, and I heard that your good friend Steve Perry was on that, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty cool that Steve got to be on there.
Pretty epic for sure, no doubt.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
You know, Steve's an old friend of mine, and I knew that he was going to connect to what we were doing as a band, and I also really wanted Jules to meet Steve, and I knew that Steve would really connect to how just Jules is a vocalist. I feel like, you know, Jules has such a great tone, and just the fact that he can wail reminds me a lot like, you know, Steve. So Steve's a guy that likes to be in the studio with other artists, and, you know, he is just he's still very in tune with creating great stuff. So he came in, and it was just to be a hang, and then he loved the music. He came in like pretty much almost every session, and but
Nice.
like about the second day we were in there, we were recording a song called Can't Get Over, that's on our record, and he was throwing out harmony ideas. And you know, I've tried to get Steve to sing on stuff of mine for years. Obviously he's never done it, but he all of a sudden was like throwing out harmonies. He's like, well, I could just go in and do it. And I'm like, we're all looking at each other like, what, really? He's like, yeah, I can just do it. And I was like, we're like, okay. And so we were like, then he goes in and he's killing it, and we're hearing that like classic tone behind our track that just really lifted it, and we were just kids in a candy store. And then he was just a part of the record from that moment on. I mean, he was coming in all the time, and so then he was really there from the bones of Chameleon. We wrote that song in the studio, so we built it up, and then, you know, he really was there for a lot of the vocals, chorus, group vocals, answer the call and response in the verse. He's there by himself as well as with us. And then he actually sat with me note for note, came up with the solo and the bridge. And then he actually did a falsetto over the top of that solo. So
Nice.
it was really, he had a lot to do with that track. So yeah, it was a blast to you know, second song we released has a lot of Brother Steve in there.
Okay, well, hold that thought, because what we're going to do is start checking out some of your videos. The first
cool.
one here we have from 2020 is Heaven Knows with Lavara, and we'll be right back on Music 101.
Why do you lie? Where did you bury them alive? Versions of us, versions of me, myself, and I. Where do you hurt? Sharing you once
Okay, we're back on Music 101. We have the great Trev Lukather here, guitarist extraordinaire from Lavara. So now, Trev, heaven knows, who did all three of you have a hand in writing this song, or did you write this yourself, or what?
No, that was the one that was kind of written in the studio too. We knew that we needed an opener for the album, so Ethan was kind of like, hey, listen, we need to do some editing and stuff, so let's take this day off and you guys should get together and write. So I kind of, zoned in and kind of was vibing something that what came out, the music of Heaven Knows, it just immediately, to me, the riff started coming out, and then it was like, man, this is very Foo Fighters meets like the Police, that we kind of want to have a little mixture of that with our own, obviously our who we are. So yeah, the music kind of came really, really, really together really quick, and it was great because it was definitely that added, that's something that we needed for the record. So Jules came over, and all the guys, we were all just, Josh and I lived together at the time, so we just kind of Jules came over, and he's a guy, he'll put like he'll like tape a really thin piece of paper and it was kind of on our sliding glass door, and he has different colored pens, and he'll pick a color, and he'll just start coming up with lyrics and then throw out melodies, and then if someone else has a lyric, they'll take a different pen and then they'll write a lyric idea on the thing. So actually Jules kind of created all of these things into artwork after we were done. But yeah, so the music was pretty there, and then Jules came over, and then Heaven Knows kind of came out, and then Josh then brings those crazy the crazy drum chops to the table, and boom, we really just kind of experimented on the spot in the studio with that one as well, and that came together real quick and very naturally, and yeah, we were pumped.
Cool, very cool. I wanted to ask you, I see all your guitars. Is that your whole collection in the background behind you?
Yeah, I mean, there's more.
Okay, I see that. I see you got that hot pink one over, that fuchsia colored one.
Yeah, that was one that, because we had the color concept in mind that we wanted to do for the record, which is like the green, the neon green, pink, and blue. So when we were going in, and Automatic was actually the first video we ever did as a band, because we knew that was going to be the main single off the record. I knew that I was going to be, obviously pink, just to be camouflage for myself. I hit up Ernie Ball Music Man, who are the greatest guitar company in the world, and I'm not being biased, it's just the truth. I hit them up, and I said, hey man, I'm doing this video for our record, and I'd love actually what I saw was they put out a guitar. It was actually my Pops model, and it had a neon pink color. It was a custom color, and it's like, I don't play my dad's guitars. I play a lot of St. Vincent. Their model St. Vincent, that artist St. Vincent, she's a badass. She has her own model, and I really love those guitars. So I asked them if they would be down to put that color on a St. Vincent, and they were like, for sure. And they were able to get it to me right before the video shoot, and I used that in the video. And also, Ever Enough's coming out next, and that's coming out on the 19th of March, and I bring that guitar back because like in Automatic, it's all neon colored lights, so the guitar isn't so present of the color. So this next one is, we're in this like rain room, and it really pops in this next video.
Okay, very cool, very cool. All right, so what I want to do is we're going to take a look at Chameleon, so we get to see well, Steve Perry, is he actually in that video?
No, he wasn't able to make it to the video shoot.
Okay.
We just had a lot of our friends, some of the members of Toto, Victor Ortiz, Boxer. We, just called a lot of our friends from from different Matt Pinfield's in it, and legendary Matt Pinfield. He's a dear bro who just debuted us on KLOS here in LA. Which obviously that's funny. I mean, the first time they played Back in Black instead of our song, and then the next week they made it right. It was really funny. Yeah, Matt's a big support. He's in the video, and it's just basically we got a bunch of our friends that we love that are from all different backgrounds, and the fact that it was kind of a message of definitely during the time that we were living in, and we still are living in those times. But
Right.
politically, it was really rough, and you know, it was just a lot of division in our country, and it was just one of those things where we just wanted to show just how we're all beautiful as human beings. It doesn't matter
Exactly.
where you come from or what you look like, we're all fucking beautiful. So let's make a video based on that, and it fit with the song, you know. And so we all, you know, we teared up a little bit watching the video back, you know. So yeah, very proud of this one.
Okay, very cool. All right, well, we're going to take a listen to Chameleon with Trev Lukather and Lavara, and we'll be right back on Music 101. Okay, we're back on Music 101 with Trev Lukather. We've just listened to Chameleon he was just explaining about his Ernie Ball. It's a Music Man Mariposa, right? In Dorado Green. You have one of those.
Yeah, yeah, that's a great one too. Yeah,
Is that the one that's behind you? Is that the one that's right behind you?
No,
On the wall?
that one's on. So you see a lot of my drinks here, a lot of energy, boys. But yeah, there's all the way over there.
Okay, that's a lighter car.
That was in Heaven Knows video. The green one I used in the Chameleon video.
That was in the Chameleon video. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, very cool. All right. Okay, so I saw that you said that the videos, the way that you made them, is like an old school homage to the early MTV days. You kind of wanted to capture that.
Yeah, that was Heaven Knows. We kind of did like a little. We just had fun. It was so last minute. We didn't really know what to do. My cousin Jake Hayes and his lovely lady Olivia De Laurentiis, I love her last name. They directed the videos and put them together with us, and it was so last minute. We didn't know that Heaven Knows was going to be the first song we released. So we needed to make a video real quick. So Jake brought over like a little green screen drop, and we did it here at the house. And, we just thought that it would be cool to kind of do this like fake television, at first it was just gonna be a lyric video, kind of like have a little few performance scenes, and TV turns on, and then the green screen would start just playing around with backgrounds that kind of look like, old school 80s, retro Miami Vice, and then like literally we got behind the bar after we did the performance scenes, and we just started drinking, and Jules and I were just like having fun. And then Jake's like, wait a second, this could be, let me just film you guys and just hang out and, be you. And we were just, we're nerds, man. We don't take ourselves seriously. And I thought that was such a great beginning of our, of us coming out to the world. It was just basically like, hey, we're making fun music, but we're not dig me people. We're not like, oh, we're super serious. Like, oh, we take the piss out of ourselves, man. And we're going to have some fun on our first little initial hello to the world. And then the other videos have a lot of them, seriousness and emotions to them too, So it was just good to have that last minute on the spot video. So that was a little more homage to the old school MTV days. Chameleon was a little more of the message that we wanted to send.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So your album isn't out yet, right? What's the release date for it?
May 14th, 2021. Okay.
So May 14th. And that will be available on all platforms?
Everywhere. Yeah. Vinyl too. You can pre-order the vinyl now. You can pre-order the record now. So yeah, it's something I think that, if you dig what you're hearing so far and that you've heard so far, you're really going to love the album. I mean, really
absolutely. Yeah.
Every song stands on its own. We definitely, we're very proud of what we did.
Sure. How many tracks do you think are going to be on it?
There's 10 songs on the album, and then we have a deluxe album coming out probably later down the line. We have an extra 3 songs.
Okay, cool.
Then we have David Page from Toto playing piano on 2 of them.
Nice.
And Perry's on one of them called Show Me the Way, but that's deluxe. This album, it's 10 songs, and it's an experience. It's a great album to put the headphones on and just close your eyes and vibe with,
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Well, we have one more video to check out, and that is for Automatic. And we're going to check that out, and we'll be right back on Music 101.
Automatic, the flames they keep on rising, caught in the magic of your touch, under the pressure, with diamonds in the rough. I don't need a measure, the level of the impact when we set in motion, a new emotion. Yes, it was automatic. Automatic. Yes, it was.
Okay, we're back on Music 101. I've been speaking to the awesome guitarist here, Trev Lukather, and his band Lavara. They have some awesome tunes. So, Trev, where can fans, which I'm sure people, you have a Facebook page, obviously I know I've been on that, and anybody that sees your stuff, I'm sure, you know, it was not taking long to build up a big fan base on your music. That's the really cool stuff, you know?
Well, we're on the ground floor. I mean, we still have a long way to go. And we're just doing whatever we can in order to get as much, you know, visible, just to be visible.
Yeah, just want to get out in front of wherever you can, have your stuff seen and heard, right?
100%. Yeah.
Okay, so now where can fans connect with you, find your music, find out what's going on with Lavara? Like tour, like that's another thing too. You plan on touring, I assume, hopefully this year, right?
Yeah, we had a full tour booked for June in Europe, but that's obviously not happening anymore. We will be touring as soon as we possibly can. And you know, people can connect with us on our social media, which is at Lavara Music, or go to our website, lavaramusic.com, or me at Trev Lukather. We're all very connected. We connect to everyone that reaches out to us. So, you know, we're appreciative to all people that want to be involved in the Lavara family, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, for sure. Well, Trev, I want to thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk with me today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I wish you lots of great success with the band. I know you will.
Thank
you
you.
know, you're definitely well on your way, you know what I mean? So, oh yeah, we'll be looking forward to this tour. And I know when I spoke to you before that you actually did play Out My Way, which I didn't know about. I wish I would have known about it. And you played here in Allentown. When did you say that was?
That was in 2018, spring 2018.
Okay. And was that that was an indoor gig, right? Not an
spring 2019. Yeah. Sorry, what?
But that was an indoor gig. That wasn't an outdoor gig. That was inside, right?
That was indoor. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I think when we said it was you thought Crocodile Rock.
Yeah, I think that was the place, and the fans. I mean, the people that were there were great. That was our last show we did of that tour. We ended it there, and it was definitely ending on a high. The people that were there at that gig were really supportive and great, and so yeah, looking forward to going back.
Yeah, definitely. Hope you make it out this way. Maybe, you know, you make it to the PPL Center or One Center Square or whatever out this way.
Whatever, and, man.
We definitely bring everybody out.
We're ready to play.
Yeah, I bet. Okay, cool. Well, Trev, once again, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to me today about what's going on with you and Lavara, and we hope to see you out on the road.
Rock and roll.
All right. Have a great day.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to Music 101 with your host, Alexxis Steele. Sponsored by Steel Notes Magazine. You can find them at the web, folks, at www.steelnotesmagazine.com.